Hi there, Jim Channon here. I work for the planet, just another one of the crew members here on Spaceship Earth, but I have a deep history in the future. And I have some good news for you. It's always difficult for a civilization when they begin a century to have such high expectations, to imagine what's going to happen for the next 100 years, because what's going on at that moment seems pretty dreary. If you go back to 1900, just after the century popped, there we were getting tickets for going faster than horses, knew for sure we couldn't fly. Highest we ever got was up on the Eiffel Tower. We only got 3 showers or baths a month, and we thought we could figure out what was going to happen in 100 years. We weren't even close. What we did in that 100 years was 100 times more imaginatively exciting than we could picture. So don't pretend that the picture you have now that you're getting from the news media is any indication of where we're going in this century. I'd like to give you just a little idea of what could be expected. First of all, if things get a little rough as one age settles down and the next age begins, you can always expect that. Recognize that underneath everything right now is the World Wide Web. That, arguably, is 10 times more democratic than any government that's ever been created. Men behind closed doors with the ability to print money generally always get in trouble over time. Add to that the fact that 2 million organizations have been discovered on the web that are ready for the next century, looking forward to social justice, the environment, and a hell of a lot of creativity. You add to that global villages that are popping up where every culture on the planet is somehow woven in to those villages at a very small micro level. We call those micropolitan zones. So understand that as the old industrial world kind of slides into a regular, more high-tech version of itself, we're going to be resting on a beautiful green platform for the future. Now, we will carve things up a little differently. Remember when nations were made, that was done mostly by plunder. And the lines did not conform to what nature thought was a coherent bioregion. We'll be doing more of the coherent bioregion and trying to manage from that location. Likewise, in addition to the bioregion, we'll be looking at the biosphere, which is actually the place where we live. We live in the watery part. The oceans, the atmosphere, the 7 miles between the Earth and the edge of the atmosphere is the biosphere. That's our new world. That is our old world. It is our only world because that's where we function. Now, it just so happens that armies of the world, navies, air forces have actually been practicing how to use what they have to recover that biosphere. Good news? Yeah, think of a better thing to do with all those armed forces. They're highly purposed, motivated, organized, and have already been, all the equipment mostly has been paid for. Let's let them do it. This is like the global Marshall Plan writ large. So, the network is there, bioregion, biosphere, and here's something coming that's a bit of a surprise, but you can feel it already if you check in. It's the interdimensional age. This is the age where our consciousness expands beyond ourselves, beyond what's in front of us, beyond what we can see, to a more telepathic state, a more sensitive state, a more infrared state, and all of a sudden other dimensions become aware to us. It could come fairly fast. Stay in your center, stay in your heart, and you'll make it through just fine. Now here we are on this global age platform, because we are a global age. I mean, we've been a global age for 30 years. All the cultures and sports and music and everything that needed to exchange hands, including airways, shipping lanes, rail lanes, everything has built a global civilization. You just haven't heard about it yet, so you're hearing about it now, perhaps. And as we move forward, we're going to aim at the floral age, which will bring the garden into being. We're going to aim at the integral age, will make life infinitely more simple because we have made it way too complex. we're going too fast, we're losing our souls, we're getting rickety in the saddle. Then imagine as that moves forward, the cultural creatives will gain momentum. That's a class of people on the planet that really see the future in terms of art and beauty and excellence. And on that pathway, we will welcome the galaxy in, because now that our cameras are good enough to see all the other planets out there, I said planets in case you missed it in the small piece in the news, the rest of the galaxy that's been watching us is reaching out to us, and soon we're going to invite them in, and we're going to have another day to reckon with. It'll be great. So all of that being said, you can imagine that this age will be 100 times more interesting than we find it right now, and some of the ways you can get there. And finally, I would mention the Aquarian age, where our heart, love, and soul will get woven in with nature, and finally the whole thing will result in a golden age. And by the end of this century, we will be there. Go planet!
So close to you, so close to you. He's so close to you, he's so close to you. He's so close to you.